Sever the bond from Nets Republic. Before this video even starts, I just want to say shout out to Austin Rivers for having confidence in hitting open set shots. Congrats on that. You're a professional athlete that can hit an open shot. You're so cool, but that's not here nor there. So we lost. This is, I think, our third loss in a row, probably. We are literally just free falling down the Eastern Conference, but that's not here nor there. Third or second. It sure feels like our 15th, but that's not here nor there. We are quite literally free falling down the Eastern Conference leaderboard, and the East is really like tight up top, so it's like we were only like a game out of first. So I mean, it's probably not really that bad in the long run. It's just all of a sudden now we're the third place team and like the Heat are in first. So it's like stuff tends to fluctuate a lot and crazier things have happened. I just think it's worth noting that it's possible that we may have just slid down to fifth, maybe? And that's concerning because you get to play in territory around 6. So I just think it's just worth examining what's going on record-wise. Now, y'all know I truly believe the regular season doesn't matter, but that's only in terms of us being in 1 through 3. If we start entertaining the idea of being a 6th-place team, that is not okay. You got to get some wins, but that's not here nor there. Tonight, James Harden didn't play because back-to-back, and I don't know when we started resting Harden in back-to-backs. I don't know when that started, but, you know, they say they just wanted to make sure he was okay for the road trip. Sure, why not? Kyrie obviously didn't play because it's a home game, which I think, like, we're normalizing, but maybe we just shouldn't be just skipping over that. Maybe we should really have a dialogue about that at some point, but I don't want to make this like something other than what I feel like it should be, but we're going to have to address this at some point. I don't think normalizing the fact that Kyrie can't play home games is a very healthy way to go about this season, but that's here and there. And KD is hurt, so we didn't have any of the big three whatsoever. That meant LaMarcus Aldridge was starting because, yes, even even Day'Ron Sharpe did not play. He was not hurt. He has a non-COVID related illness, whatever that means. Hopefully he's okay. And Claxton did not play either, even though he played last night. So are we giving Claxton load management too? I don't know what's going on there, but that's not here nor there. So that left us with a starting lineup of, I believe, Patty Mills. Did Cam Thomas start? He might have. I honestly can't remember. We've just had so many lineups, it's just impossible to keep up with. But the main event is LaMarcus Aldridge started. And I was prepared for, you know, if they were to somehow pull off a W, I would get on here and just make the most toxic video of all time, bumping my chest about how much I was right. And while they didn't get the dub, it was a close game, and I'm going to cling to the things that I have been saying. So while I will refresh everyone's memory on a couple things I've been saying that was proven yet again tonight, I'm going to take us somewhere differently afterwards. I would like to start with the fact that LaMarcus Aldridge played very well against Jokic. I say exposed him a teensy bit if you ask me, but that's not here nor there. He played very well offensively. Again, it wasn't just stupid pick and pops off of James Harden pick and rolls. It was him getting in the post, doing his fadeaway turnaround stuff, bully ball, all sorts of, even a couple dunks here and there. He had several blocks. LaMarcus Aldridge played incredible, and him basically being the number one option, though it turned into Patty Mills being the number one option. You just love to see that type of stuff, and it was really, really fun. Same thing with Blake Griffin coming off of the bench. He didn't play like out of this world, but as far as the Blakety-Blake stuff that we advertise and him basically getting to run a unit, he got to run the second unit, which is what I was asking for last game, especially if Patty Mills is going to start. It's nice to have him out there to run the second unit because that's basically what he did in Detroit. And I thought he did a good job, got a lot of people involved. He had a weird assist off of his shin. I don't know how that was okay, but that's not here or there. But he played well. He even had a dunk. Still can't hit a shot to save his life as far as a jump shot goes, but anytime he's around the rim, he seems to be playing really well. Even if he completely misses something, he'll kind of like grab the rebound and go back up and put it in. So I thought Blake Griffin played really, really well. I would have liked to see him be a little bit more aggressive. I thought he was kind of passive in the second half, and I feel like his role is super undefined, but I put that on Steve Nash instead of him being overly tentative. I don't think there is a clear-cut thing of what, like if you're not in the big three, I don't think your role is really set like that. Like outside of Patty Mills, who's clearly just either replacement Kyrie or stand-in Joe Harris, I don't think anyone outside of the big three has a real role. And I put that on Steve Nash personally, but that's not there. I'm going to leave that man alone for now. Bruce Brown didn't play very well, but that is neither here nor there. Let me just get my agenda and narrative stuff out the way, and then we'll talk about the actual game itself. What I am proposing, because we almost won with LaMarcus Aldridge going off, Patty Mills going off, and Blake Griffin doing his thing. I happen to think that we need to take that next step as far as getting the other stars involved. If you want to put Patty Mills in the star conversation, I'm not going to go there, but he sure is playing like one. So if you want to say big six, I'm not going to argue it. I'm sticking with big five, but that's neither here nor there. But I think the next step in getting the other two of the stars involved, and LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin, is not only giving them the ball where they need it, not only giving them the ball where they can be effective, but having an understood level of aggression as far as scoring goes. I feel like the end of game stat lines, especially if only two of the big three are out there. If it's all three of them, I get no one else is really getting more than 2 shots. I understand that. I'm not arguing with that. I'm not complaining with that. You can't beat all 3 of them. But if you've only got 2 of them, be that KD and Harden or Kyrie and Harden, it's very rare that we'll see any other variation of that. I would like it if the stat line would be one of them has 30, the other one, as far as like big three stuff, has like 20-ish. Patty Mills is somewhere at 18, and then you got LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin at 15. That's the type of stat line I want to see if only 2 of the big three are playing. I think it should be balanced like that. Now, obviously, this isn't 2K, so you can't manage how many points someone has, but I mean just spreading it evenly. I truly believe that in everyone's respective spots, they are all capable of taking someone to the cleaners offensively. They're all all-stars, with the exception of Patty. And I personally think that if we just share the ball and take advantage of everything that we have and make sure it is a solid effort, the situation will handle itself. If you take tonight's game and you add 25 points from James Harden and a couple more assists, bringing everyone else's scoring up as well, I think we win this game. If you add Kyrie Irving, well, if it's just Kyrie, we probably lose this game. But if you theoretically add Kyrie's point total in there, I believe we win this game. And we already know if Kevin Durant's healthy, we win this game. Not to mention a combination of the 2 of them, we're probably winning this game. And I thought tonight was a great sample size. Cam Thomas played out of his mind, by the way. It's not time for the Cam Thomas hour yet, but trust me, we are getting there. Cam Thomas played out of his mind. I think Mans had like 25 points or something like that. And Justin did like a piece on his floater. Spot on. Please go to netsrepublic.com and check out his video breakdown on that. It's very accurate. Cam Thomas is one of the most dangerous floaters I think I've seen in NBA history. And it's so effortless. And sometimes you forget he's a rookie. Some of the turnovers, you are immediately reminded he's a child. But when you watch him score, it's just like, dang, this is his rookie year? He might not get rookie of the year because the team is so stacked and loaded with talent. But Jesus, if he was on a trash team, I feel like he's averaging 25. But that's just me personally. That man had a step-back contested 3 on Jokic. And while I don't really believe in the Jokic hype like that, and granted, we only see him like twice a year, I'm not really sold on Jokic like that, but I am aware that he's the MVP, so he must be good, allegedly. And to hit a step back on that man with that flabby old arm, I mean, to shoot over him like that, you can't even see the rim with that tree branch of an arm in front of you. I mean, bravo, Cam Thomas. But let me think. Is there anything else I want to talk about before I poop on Steve Nash for a second? Let me think. Let's just poop on Steve Nash. So There was a point during the, I want to say, middle of the third quarter where I saw, I want to say Javon Carter or Blake Griffin look over to the side after, it was Patty Mills, look over to the side after a dead ball. It was Brooklyn ball. They were inbounding and they were looking to Steve, and Steve pulled down his mask and said something and was doing something with his fingers. Now, while I want to believe he was just throwing up the spirit fingers because he was bored, or maybe his fingers fell asleep, or maybe he was doing his Whammy impression, shout out to Whammy and Mrs. Whammy, but that's not neither there, he was clearly signaling some form of a play that the Nets did carry out, and it was a pick and roll with Patty Mills and Blake Griffin that ended up in a Blake Griffin layup. I don't think it counted. I think that was the James Johnson offensive foul, I believe, with that weird box out. But the point is, I actually noticed that Steve Nash had a play, but it was just a pick and roll. And it's like, with Harden, he's literally out there playing, so I'll cut him some slack on the lack of options he runs. But the coach, like, I watched him throw up some type of sign that I feel like I don't feel comfortable throwing up outside of my house type sign, and it's like it resulted in a pick and roll with Patty and Blake, and it's like, bruh, like, you prove him up. Like, at least he called something. I will give him that. But in the absence of Harden, him calling for a generic point guard to center pick and roll, it's like, you're not really a coach, are you? Like, if fake it till you make it is a person, it's Steve Nash being a coach. Like, I really, really feel like that. And I feel bad just assassinating this man's character because this is an MVP. But it's like, Jesus, when he puts on that suit, well, it's not really a suit, but when he puts on the all-black Brooklyn coach garb, it's like, man, this man is Trashkazoid. And yes, I just made up a Pokemon name for Steve. I choose you, turns hat backwards, Trashazoid. But that's neither here nor there. Also, there was an instance where it was a 3-point game. The Nets are right back in it. There's about 3 minutes left. And Steve Nash takes out Patty Mills, who has been on fire from 3. Takes Patty Mills out the game, puts Javon Carter in. Now, while Javon Carter was in there, LaMarcus Aldridge immediately scored, and I think there was a timeout. But after the timeout, Javon Carter comes out of the game, and Patty Mills literally comes back in. So what was the point of taking Patty out of the game for literally 1 possession? I mean, if you needed a breather, you were about to have a timeout anyway. I don't understand what was going on there, and while I think it's probably reaching for me to say it knocked Patty out of his rhythm because Mans had a wide open 3 in the corner right after that, missed it after being completely on fire. I think it affected his rhythm personally. I don't know what Steve Nash is doing, and I haven't had a Javon Carter conversation on anything on YouTube, but I'm about to debut it right now. What is Javon Carter doing? The open shots he hit were dope, but there was a point where even Ian Eagle said, well, he's just going to keep shooting, and it's like, bro, he really is. One of those misses were so bad, I think it clanked, like, here's the rim, here's the backboard. It was almost a wedgie clank. That's how bad he missed the 3. Like, his misses are so god-awful. It's like, bro, it's either like entity in, or it's like, yo, this is off. Like, take the ball out of his hands permanently type stuff. Let him put on the ball hog gloves so it slips out of his hand type stuff. I mean, that man is garbage. But he plays good defense, allegedly. And I guess that's why he's out there. And with so many people out with either health and safety protocols or we're just not eligible to play them because they're on 2-way contracts, shout out to Javon Carter, I guess, sure. There was also several points where we had Cam Thomas running point, and it's like, if he's hitting the step back 3, like, that's a good idea, but you know that man's shooting the ball. Like, I saw a couple of times where even Blake is like clapping for the ball wide open under the rim, and it's like, bro, pass please. And then he does pass, and it's like, it comes off of his foot, and it's a turnover. Just weird coaching decisions by Steve Nash, but what else is new? Do I think if we have a competent coach, we win this game? Absolutely. But I will not throw the whole thing on Steve Nash. I don't think that's fair. While we did lose the game, I personally think it was fun. Because I think we all knew we were losing, so it's like they couldn't possibly hurt us. You know what I mean? It's like if you give your ex a second chance and it's like you have to break it off a second time, you're not even hurt because it's like you signed up for part 2, so you can't even be mad. It's like, well, I said okay to this, so it's like, yeah, I don't think the Nets were capable of hurting us. Like, I'm sure there's someone who's watching this who's like, oh, these Nets, they got me again. But I am not a part of that crowd. I definitely knew we were going to lose. Even if Harden was playing, I knew we were going to lose, but that's not here or there. But this is just that middle part of the season where everything just sucks, and we just hope that they figure something out. The whole idea of criticizing Kyrie Irving's vaccination status is a on-camera thing now. I mean, it is a common talking point. It's on like graphics before the game. So this is a organizational push to get Kyrie to get the vaccine. And I really don't think he's going to change his mind, especially judging by his tweets today. But I just hope we find a way to get out of this mess. We still haven't had our James Harden conversation, which we will at some point, but maybe tomorrow. But today, I just wanted to get yesterday's game over with and today's game over with and give them their own special video. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this game down below. I probably gave like way too much of a deep dive on a very silly, meaningless loss, but it was necessary because I had fun and I enjoyed the game. And normally, I'm not having fun during losses, but I actually enjoyed this one quite a bit. I thought it was just a fun game. Also, we need to never wear these jerseys again. I can't remember the last time we won in them. And I'd also like to throw out there that we did not wear the Basquiat jerseys as often as we wear these throwback New Jersey jerseys. But that's not here nor there. I'm just throwing it out there. We did not show Basquiat this much love. And the court was cool too. I'm just throwing it out there. Like outside of the playoffs, we really didn't give those Basquiat jerseys the love they deserve. Best jerseys to ever come out in NBA history, even better than the MLK Atlanta Hawks jerseys, and I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. 7th Bond, Nets Republic. Ah!